Captive. I really wanted to like this movie, that's for sure. I saw the trailer a few months ago when it was announced, whatever, and it looked really, really interesting, actually. It looked good. It looked sort of like Prisoners, but I like Ryan Reynolds more than Hugh Jackman, so I was a bit more excited. And it wasn't that at all. It wasn't what the trailer really advertised, I guess. Well, it's not that the trailer made it seem different. The trailer made it seem way more interesting. Let's just say that. And the movie wasn't that interesting at all. There was no, I don't know, mystery behind it. And I don't really want to spoil anything, but you basically know what's going on throughout the entire movie, so there isn't like a big reveal, that there aren't any twists, and the twists that did exist, I did not buy at all. They were quite ridiculous and quite unbelievable and not plausible at all, so I really didn't like where it was going. It had me at first. I was interested. It looked nice. I liked the style of it, where it's just I really liked how they use the camera when it just stays on someone when someone is walking towards it, and then just focuses on a person at an angle. It was interesting, and then that was it, because there was nothing else interesting about it except for the actual structure of the movie, which I wasn't expecting. Everything was told out of order. So, at first I was a bit confused, like, what is happening? And then I realized, oh, this happens before the girl gets kidnapped, and this happens after the girl gets kidnapped. So, it gets told out of order, and I really liked that. And then that's all I liked about it, honestly, because the acting wasn't that great, except for Rosario Dawson, who I love, and she was absolutely fantastic in this. And she was actually my favorite character, and I wanted to know more about her, because I did not sympathize at all with the parents, for some reason. Even though, yes, they are victims here, their daughter was kidnapped, and they have no idea where she is. I felt no sympathy for them at all. I didn't really care about them. I didn't even care if they would find their daughter or not. I didn't care about the daughter. I felt no sympathy for her either. And the most interesting storyline was actually Rosario Dawson and her job. I don't think they really said what she is exactly. She's an investigator, but she worked specifically online, finding people that watch kids online and sort of exploit them on the internet and try and trick them and meet them and things like that. So she was the most interesting character, and she was the best out of everyone, and they really didn't go into it that much. I did not like Scott Speedsman. I don't like him at all, and I hated him in this movie for some reason. And I mean, his character, I didn't feel anything for him, except I didn't like him. So it was hard to connect to the characters, actually. And the kidnapper, who's also there, was the guy from Lost, and I kept getting distracted thinking, who is this guy? Who is this guy? And I had to pause the movie and look him up. He played a soldier in Lost in season 4. And he was very creepy. He just made me uncomfortable. That's for sure. And I was actually interested in him. I wanted to know more about him. Who is this guy? Where did he come from? Why is he doing this? What's his goal? Why is he kidnapping children? What's gonna happen to him? And honestly, the movie doesn't give you anything. It doesn't give you any type of answers about anything. What was going on? Why was this kid taken? What happened to her all these years? Like, where was she? Why was it her? Why was it, like, why? I don't even want to say anything, because I feel like I'm gonna spoil it, so I guess I should stop now before spoiling everything, not that it matters, because throughout the entire movie there aren't really spoilers. I mean, they tell you everything from the beginning, except the things you care about. So they tell you exactly what's happened to the girl, what's happened to the kidnapper, where he is, where she is, what's going on with the parents. Everything is clear from the beginning, so there isn't a mystery of, is she alive, is she dead, are they gonna find her? There isn't that mystery at all. And then the end, I didn't like it at all as well, because it feels like I spent 2 hours watching this movie and this is all I get. Really, it felt like we didn't get anything in the end. So, and I wanted to know more about this whole ring of people that kidnap children and use them online. I wanted to know more about that. That was more interesting to me. I wanted to see the cops investigate more, which never happened. So it was quite, I guess, unsatisfying, this movie. It's just such a shame because I felt like it was gonna be great. I remember I didn't like Prisoners that much when it came out, but comparing the two, Prisoners is definitely better. This movie gave me nothing. I was interested, I guess, while I was watching, and it's not a boring movie except for every time Ryan Reynolds is on screen, because his character was just so boring, and then the mother as well. I felt nothing towards them, and it seems like the movie didn't really want you to feel anything for them. I don't know why. They are, you know, a broken family, and you're supposed to feel sorry for them, and you're supposed to hope that they find their daughter, but I didn't care at all. So there was no sympathy there, and it was just boring. Every time Ryan Reynolds was on screen, it was boring. He was not that great in the movie, and everything his character did was just, why would you do that? What kind of person would do that? Same thing with the mother. The mother goes through something and she decides not to tell anyone. Really? After you've been looking for your daughter for 9 years, you decide not to say anything when there's a breakthrough? So, yeah. That's all I can say, really. Not that great. It wasn't terrible, but it's not satisfying, I guess. For 2 hours investment, it's too much. Maybe if it was 20 minutes shorter, I would have felt better about it, thinking, okay, they didn't have time, that's why they didn't answer everything, but they did have time. They had 2 hours, and they should have given us more. So yeah, that's all I have to say about The Captive. Not something I would recommend, actually. So if you watch it, I guess watch it for Rosario Dawson, because honestly, she kept me through it. Maybe I wouldn't have even finished it if it wasn't for her, because I was really invested in her character. I liked her acting, so she was honestly the best part. And that's all I have to say about The Captive. Not that great.